Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Everyday Black Man Podcast, a podcast for authentic black male thoughts. I am Riker, and this week we are joined by our special guest, Lauren. While me and her did go back and forth on makeup, I think it's a more nuanced discussion, and we hope to have her back again so that we can talk more about this and other issues. I've divided this episode into two parts because I feel like it goes better and flows well instead of making it one super long thing, because I wanted you to listen to every juicy moment. So without further ado, let's start the show.
Appreciate you coming in today, Lauren, to the Everyday Black Men podcast for authentic black male
Hi.
thoughts. Anything you want to say to the people? Any Instagram you want to plug?
Hell yeah. Y'all follow me on Instagram at vivid.rose. Vivid.rose.
Excellent.
It's on YouTube as the same thing.
Okay. Do you make YouTube content that your viewers should check out?
Uh well, on my other channel, most likely, because that channel is more about, making money online and different ways to supplement your income. My beauty channel is kind of just like, you know.
I think people always like to make money, I mean, that's just idea.
Yeah. And that one is I am L Rose, like the letter L, like my name Lauren Rose. So y'all can check me out on that. Just YouTube / I am L Rose.
All right. Excellent. Well, unfortunately, viewers, listeners, Armstead couldn't be here with us today, so Lauren decided that she would grace us with her presence and bring us some much needed feminine energy because it's something we can't do ourselves.
Bro, I can fake it.
No, you
Nah,
can't.
it's not
You
the
can't.
same.
It's got to be authentic. You don't have the switch in your voice,
Hold
unfortunately.
on. But, yeah, man. It don't matter, bro. I'm going to do my 1 week with iPhone 12 next week,
Oh,
brother.
man. We're
Yeah,
looking forward to that.
yeah. One thing is those little metal rings around it, when you use it for a long time, now they have what is it, a metal bezel or whatever they want to call it. It gets a
Hmm.
little hot. But that's someone who uses their phone consistently. I was watching GOH on my phone, and that shit got hot. Let's start from the beginning.
So I'm keeping that in. I'm keeping that all the way in.
I mean,
Um,
no.
But since you mentioned GOH and iPhones, that all sounds to me like money. So let's talk about this 50 Cent thing. Is he wrong for backing money over black people?
I'm gonna say this. I did not actually look or listen to what he said, right? But this is my thing. If you have a lot of money, regardless, you should have a good accountant. So your accountant should be able to, let you know the loopholes and the tax advantages that you have for making all that money. Because at the end of the day, I mean, what Amazon paid how much in taxes? Trump pays how much in taxes? But you make this certain amount of money, but you can't afford a good accountant. That doesn't make any sense.
I think it's so hilarious to be mad at people for moving how their money moves. Personally, I think the only thing he did wrong was share it. Like
Right.
that's your vote. Like I think the problem we have in this society is we should tell everybody to vote, but you should not have a problem with who they vote for when you tell them to vote.
Right.
Yeah, so like, I don't care personally.
I mean, I
And
feel like a lot of people that make over a certain amount of money are probably going to vote for Trump anyway, because it's in their best interest. But they're not going to tell, hey, yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. I think most of the Trump supporters are that's out and about, raising their flags and stuff like that, or
No, those are the cannon fodder right there. Them people who's
yeah,
waving
those are the
signs.
minority. The
Yeah.
ones
right.
what was the guy Dave Chappelle said he's not gonna help you. That's gonna help me. Or
Exactly. It's like,
yeah.
bro, Trump isn't coming down for you. He's coming here for me, for people in my bracket.
Right.
I mean, them people gonna be regardless either way it goes. Because I hate it when people was like, "Well, Donald Trump only paid $700 in taxes this year and that year." I'm just like, y'all know who was president this year and that year? Y'all keep falling for the game. Like they're not taking no money from these people.
Well, on
These
top
people
of
don't
that,
take money.
you're right. But on top of that, y'all realize that the IRS could come after him, but they didn't for a reason. So you should more so start clicking those little facts together like, we know this man only paid $750. We know how his taxes were paid, but nobody decided to go after him. Why? Why didn't our government
That's
function?
normal.
Exactly. It is normal
Just
for
like
them
when
not to
people
go after rich people.
they think that they gonna lock that dude up. Man, they gonna lock him up. I'm just like, did he lock up Hillary? No, they're not gonna lock him up. They're not even gonna mess with
Right.
him. They're not gonna mess with him. I guarantee that.
New
It's
York is going to
all
mess with them.
bullshit.
New York is going to mess with them. I don't know about the federal government, but I'm pretty sure New York is.
He's gonna beat them.
I mean, maybe, maybe not. It just depends on how the factors
Why
view.
is he going to jail? No.
Him going to jail, I think you're right. Low likelihood. Him having taxes and fees, much more likely. And for Trump, that is more because he hates paying the federal government to begin with.
They're gonna have to defend him.
I mean, it depends on how things play out. Because I had this exact same conversation with somebody, and they were like, "Oh man, Trump's da 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 da." I'm like, "No, no, y'all aren't understanding. Trump's tax cuts. You know that little bit of extra money you got on your check every month, that goes away in 2022. You know what else hits Trump in 2022? His loans all come due. So he's gonna have about $1 billion that's gonna come due at that time,
Stop
and
that.
y'all gonna stop
Missing
getting money."
something. It's not that yours goes away.
Exactly. No, 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 no. That's you're right. That is the
Yeah,
part that I did not highlight.
yeah.
Yours goes away. The rich people's doesn't, but your everyday working person, that'd be a good podcast name. Everyday working person. Yours goes away. Trump's
Yeah.
does not go away, and y'all have fallen for the okey doke because y'all defending a man who is not having the same problems you having. He's
And
like
Joe
tax
Biden is not
cuts.
gonna raise their taxes either.
Well, Joe Biden's going to raise tax on the people between the people who are in the top 1%, but not the ultra 0.1%.
I don't believe it, bro. Well, put it like
Uh,
this: is he going after loopholes and shit? Then I don't believe it.
well, as people keep saying that, oh, Biden's going to get those rich people. I'm like, yeah, but did y'all read the rest of Biden's tax plan?
Hey,
Yes, you won't have any taxes go up if you make under $400,000 right now. But again, in 5 years, it's going to equalize, which means y'all going to go back up to where your taxes were before the 2017 thing.
so I think conservatism and black men, women, like you're a woman, man. Lauren, you're here. So a conservative black man, not when I say like, when I think of a conservative black man,
Not Tim Scott.
hell, I think women would like a Tim Scott. To be honest with you, bro. He just when he speak on those social issues, I'm talking about conservatism when it comes to doing the things that a man used to do. Raise your family, don't complain. Every day you look in the mirror, you're like, how can I do this for my family? Work myself till I die. Like men be men. But the problem is you can't have that mindset and also be on some, you know, women are my equal. Or I think, how do we say that, man? Women are my equal. Not like that.
Just
Or I
just
want my
just say new age liberalism.
new age. I don't think those two mix. I mean, I think you put yourself in a weird place because I think we complain a lot about things in black men and black women, but if we were to embrace more of those attitudes, I think we would be better off at least for a generation or two. And I'm
You
just
sound
talking
like
about
me
the
talking
social.
about the church. Because
Uh,
I've always said the church, if the church would just shut up and not say anything for 25, well, originally I said 50, but 25 years now, and just focus on the inter church issues, like get all of the thieving in the church, all the people who want to play have my own flock, all the people who are adulterers. If we just work internally on everyone within the church, then in 25 years the church could be so much stronger. Because I'm not saying that you're going to get rid of all those things, but if you get rid of a lot of the other things that are coming out, people are not going to have a way of going and pointing to like every.
I think the church is a weird thing because I think that even the church, if people think about it, is more powerful than what it is. Because if you think about it, there's not the church can't be as powerful as it once was because there's just some social issues that black people fuck with now that it ain't gonna work. It's
That's
just
true.
not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. To each his own, of course, and I feel like we have a generation of not telling people the truth and your feelings matter and all that bullshit. But in church, I think it's kind of straightforward. So do with it as you must.
You raise an interesting point, which is, the Pope came out this week and said, we deserve same-sex people deserve to have unions, and that made some people mad, and it made some other people okay,
I
and then
think I believed in that for real. Like a civil union, I think that was the distinction that and the difference that people didn't have a problem with. It was the word marriage. A lot of people fought over. If two people are together, then they should share those benefits given to them by the government. However, the question is, does the word marriage imply? And I think at that time I didn't have a problem with it, but it is what it is at this point. We 10 years in, but the way they do things is they change a little here, then they wait a little longer. The next thing you know, ask you, can you marry two people? But only if you're a
well, I'm
woman.
all for it.
But only if you're a woman.
Yeah,
I mean, if you have the amount of money to take care of two people, I mean, it
exactly.
was
See,
That's
I'm
in
yo.
with
the
That's
you.
what I'm talking
I
about.
think you should be able to marry as many people as your pockets allow.
I mean, it was in the
Exactly.
Bible, so it's like
I've
I
been
mean,
telling people that for a long time. I mean, you go to some other countries in Africa, and you can have as many women as you can afford. I know a guy right now on his
what's
fourth
that
wife,
number?
thinking about a fifth one.
What's that about
right.
45,000 per woman?
Something like that. It's like 45,000 per woman, which, depending on the country, may be millions of dollars. Also, the really interesting thing I learned yesterday was apparently in Nigeria, you pay all of your rent up front. I was like, up front, but
They
at
gonna
the
be
same
pissed
time,
off.
that's kind of cool because then you get it all at one time, and then you can spend the rest of your time, saving your money and not worrying about them unexpected bills. But I don't know, man. I think that'll be interesting to see if that ever does pop off with people marrying one more than one. But yeah, I do think there needs to be a monetary thing. I'm sorry, guy who can't support one wife. You don't deserve to have four or three
Oh,
or
I mean,
even
it
two.
depends on the woman. Not all women are worth the same amount of money.
Oh Lord.
Here we go into everyday sexism, brought to you by R. Reed. Um,
That's just the truth. It's just how the stock is up and down like it's Wall Street. Home, some women ain't worth the same amount, and you and I both
I
know that.
mean, we're gonna get in. We're gonna get into
But
that
why would
segment a
that
little bit
even
later,
be like somebody that you even
That's him.
doesn't?
Remember,
because
your
some
who
women
you
have
date is
tricks.
your who you date is your priority. I can't pick your mate for you.
That's also
So
true.
yeah, it just depends on the person. Because what I like and what you may like I had friends dating women. I was like, ugh, why would you date her? But he liked her, so I kept it to myself.
Well, duh.
Correct, but
Also true.
I didn't value her as a 45,000 woman. I value her as a headache and $25,000.
Wow, wow, keeping it real in these streets, man. All right, we're gonna hold off on that till another later segment.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna hit number two on this list, which is a GOP poll has said that Trump and Biden had their final debate. Trump won the final debate, but Biden won the war. Do we think this is accurate?
I don't think Biden won anything. I feel like the stuff that he won't say, he not calling them out on far as his old racist past. But I mean, it don't take much research to figure out that that dude was a starch racist. Like y'all think it's a game. Richard Spencer is actually in support of this guy. I don't know who Richard Spencer is. He's the
I know
modern,
who Richard Spencer is.
yeah, he's the one of the most modern racists on planet Earth. But
Right, but don't you think like okay, for example, I forgot his name, but the black guy that infiltrated the KKK and actually became friends with some of the leaders of the KKK and actually had people leave. Like, don't you think that it's possible to be racist and then once you start meeting black people and really understanding black people and becoming friends with black people, then you're like, okay, I'm not racist anymore.
this is America, the land of change.
I'm just saying,
We just
what I
don't
mean?
know if he
So
changed. If you see change, then yeah.
I just hate when people try to bring up people's past and then be like, oh, they did this and blah, blah. And it's like, oh, wow, they were freaking 18 when they did that. Like, who cares?
Okay, this is the problem with. All right, so your past is important. The question is, do you embrace it? And who you are now, did it make you who you are? Like I
Right,
had a friend, he had a girl, she was like, they said that she was in these streets, as they said. But I was like, bro, if you like her, who gives a fuck? Like I don't really care
right.
about that kind of stuff. But like, did she change and did that make her who she is? And you like her? You worried about what other niggas think, but other niggas gonna be with her but you. Like, who cares? All that kind of stuff. Now, in aspects of Joe Biden, what I'm telling you is like you have to acknowledge your past because that's accountability. The question is like, did he pay that for being under Obama for 8 years? I mean, maybe. The question is,
Maybe,
will he
maybe.
run the same way? Because like the crime bill, how he backed off it like slowly bothered me a lot because he never really kind of off it like until recently. But there's a lot of bills he was just kept on supporting through the 80s, 90s, and he most recently backed off the crime bill like it was had its own problems. And I don't know. The question is, do I think he changed? I guess that's the better question. Do you think he changed?
I don't think that he changed so much as he got older and cared less. And what you're saying earlier, Lauren, was Ron Stallworth. He was a black guy
Yeah,
that infiltrated the KKK.
right.
But I don't know, because the problem is I don't know if people are capable of change, and that's one of the only things that's kind of whatever. At the same time, cancel culture exists because to a certain extent, we've been forgiving people and forgiving people and forgiving people, and half these people don't actually change. You can see Kanye West for that, but at the same time, you have to at some point decide, hey, you know what? Nah, what you did was fucked up, and we should whatever. Like for me, I'm never gonna be a fan of Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark, whatever people want to call him, because of how badly he beat the shit out of a Filipino guy and terrorized the kid, a busload of black kids. And yeah, he could say, "Oh, I was young, I was dumb," but that guy who he beat actually lives in Atlanta. And when they asked that Vietnamese guy if he should get a pardon, he said, "Absolutely the hell no." Like this guy literally broke my fucking face. I'm never going to get over that. So there has to be a line. But as a society, I think our read and where you were going, Lauren, is there does need to be like, we need to have a line. Like, all right, does a rape
And I feel like
accusation
that
mean we
line.
cancel you?
Yeah.
I feel like that line
No,
for
no, I
white
said
people is
accusation
always
before,
in the
always.
air.
Does an accusation mean that we cancel you? I mean, proven, obviously, yes. Like if you murder someone, it depends. Like if you murder someone in cold blood, yeah, you should probably be canceled. Is this somebody break into your house? Like
Bro,
there's levels to murder.
he read
Right.
the obituary for some like super racist guy, like like somebody who was my friend. I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro.
Well,
I
the
don't,
super racist guy that you're talking about, that guy was racist, but he wasn't the kind of racist that people were saying. He was back in 1940s, 50s, 60s racist. So, you know, what he grew up with, the same way that, again, I'm never going to believe that you and Armstead would ever marry a trans woman. But that's partly how you grew up. If you grew up 15 years from now, you probably would at least be like, oh, I'd date a trans woman, see how it goes, because
ain't no way in hell I would.
that's a much deeper conversation that we really can't have because we're straight men who are just straight black men. Like I think that's a conversation that the LGBT
Oh
really needs
God,
to
we got a
have.
woman on the podcast. Let me ask you a question. If a dude was dating a tranny, what would you think of him?
um, that he
Would you?
was gay.
I told you.
I mean that's what like. Hey, is that if that's what you like, that's what you like. It's cool, whatever.
Because I think that their identity crisis is going to come down to women. And they was like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "They're gonna believe that they're just as much woman as a woman, and there's gonna be something that women are gonna be like, oh, hold on, wait, like as soon as you get the first trans athlete in the WNBA, I'm telling you, the
Well, I
ratings are
don't
gonna
think that would be
skyrocket."
right because regardless, it's just like you're still, what you were born as.
No, no,
Even
no, no.
if
You're a woman. You're a woman. That's how they want to play it.
I mean, no, if you take all those hormones, you suppress a lot of your masculinity.
Yeah, but how many years did you go without it?
You're right in that you are still saying that you have changed this tree, and this tree is always going to be a tree. But I mean, if you start cutting off the limbs and you start changing the way that it can blossom, I don't know if that's really truly the same tree as
Bro,
if
if
it
that
was just a regular
motherfucker
oak
still
tree.
grow up to be a red oak, it's still a red goddamn oak.
Sir, once you start messing with the tree's leaves and limbs, that tree ain't gonna grow the way that it would grow if you had just left it alone. So
Bro, but
there's got
most
to be
gender
some
assignments
levels to it.
don't. People don't give those gender assignments as early. You already gonna hit puberty by that time.
Well, no, you're right that there needs to be some way of saying whatever because the thing
But
that
then that's
people don't,
discrimination.
it is discrimination.
Uh,
So that's why I'm saying this line can't be done by us because straight people can't make this line. We can't touch it. We can have opinions about it. You can have opinion about anything, but this isn't our line to do, and that's
But
I think the
however, what if they
problem.
want to date you and they're saying they don't have to tell you? See, there's a lot of stuff we got to talk. Like,
Well, no, but there's a small vocal. It's kind of like the whole vocal liberal saying that all whatever should be whatever. Most people don't believe that. Most trans people are like, look, I want you to know because I don't want to get in a relationship with someone who hates me. The same way that most black guys are like, hey, if this woman is a racist and her dad's a racist, even if she got the best punani in the world, I'm not going to want to hang out around racist ass Jim Bob and his daughter, even if she got the most fire deep throat in this country. Like I'm just there's certain things where it's just like it's not worth the stress. And for most
Right.
trans people, it's not worth the stress to not tell you because they don't want to have that. They homeboys, they're like, hey man, this Alicia. And they're like, I don't know, dog. Something about Alicia seemed different. And then they come to find out and they're like, nah, man, you dating a dude. And like a lot of times the person who you're dating in that scenario, if you're a trans person, is like, ah man, we gotta break up. It's like, now you really effed up because you done brought this person, made them feel a certain kind of way, likely had a lot of sex with them, and now you're just like, oh man, my friends don't approve, so you gotta go to the curb. Um, and that's just an experience no one is trying to have. The same way where it's like, I think to a certain extent, women need to dial back on makeup and other things in these Tinder apps
Nah,
things because you create
whoa,
a false
whoa,
persona.
we not about to go there with the makeup.
uh
No,
oh,
I'm definitely going all the way there because you
Nah,
get these people who look a very specific way online, and it's not every woman, but it's a lot of women who have a very different look online that they have in real life, and then they get mad when a guy like me is like, "Hey, nah, this ain't gonna work." And they're like, "Well, what happened? Why, Riker? Don't you feel that way?" And it's like, "Well,
nah.
because you are a
First of
different
all,
person."
look, first off, when it comes to this makeup thing, if you see me and I have on these long lashes and some glitter on my eyes, you know that that's not how I look. You know what I'm saying? So for you to be like, oh, well, you're giving off, this different appearance, like, come on, like, I have on makeup, so that's dumb on your part to even think that. But when it comes to, okay, I have like acne or I have like bad skin and I'm covering that up because I'm insecure about that, like, who wants to go out and they have like big ass dark spots on their face? Nobody wants to like live like that. So yeah,
Plenty of men have to live with both of those things, whether it be messed up faces or messed up stuff. Now, a lot of these men get money or get muscles or something else, but makeup is inherently a lie. And the biggest problem I have with it is not the casual person who uses makeup every so often, but I'm saying the person who uses makeup so much that it almost becomes impossible to know who they were beforehand.
here, it's not something I worry about, and I don't know, maybe that's just me.
you said what?
It's not something I ever cared about.
I
No,
know,
like
I know something you don't care about.
only
I've
thing I
dated.
don't are those stupid lashes. I don't get them. Like, why are they 5 feet long?
Oh yeah, well, see, I wouldn't date a woman with lashes to begin with.
I don't rock with like super, super long lashes, but I do wear lashes. I used to sell lashes. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when it comes to the point where it's like over the top, I mean, hey, to each his own. You can't be like, oh, you shouldn't wear those. You know what I'm saying? Just, hey, you see
I,
it and you rock with somebody different. If you don't like makeup, then you're not going to date somebody with makeup. But don't sit up here and be like, oh, all women should not wear makeup. The fuck?
I only know one man who
You
thinks
say all women shouldn't wear makeup, but it's my opinion. I wholly say that, but I don't think you should wear makeup, just from the sense that it's not portraying the clearest you. Now, when I say makeup, I mean full beat face. Not talking just a little eyeliner here, a little shadowing there, some contouring, basic stuff. I'm saying full beat face at all times. Because I've
So
dated one of
what?
those people, and it
Because,
was
right.
super
So
annoying.
what? So what? That's what they like. You can't, if you don't like it, then don't date them. It's simple.
But then she had a problem with me because I didn't want to date her. She had a whole Sephora argument breakout. Almost got banned from Perimeter Mall because I was like, I just can't do this anymore. Like, I mean, I know I chose the wrong place to have an argument about makeup.
I mean, but you did it in the beginning, so it was like you already knew who she was, and then you still
in
decided
the
to pursue the
beginning, in the beginning,
relationship.
you got the blind. In the beginners, you got the blinders on, though, man. You got everything running for you. Everybody is super attractive. Everybody's super witty. Sometimes you can look over things for the first 3 months, 6 months, year, but at some point in time, it just be like, you know what? Nah, we're gonna have a moment of radical honesty here, and people hate that. But we will differ on this, Lauren. Again, I'm not trying to knock anybody's business. If you sell makeup, I didn't say
No, I
you.
said I used to.
Oh, okay, all right,
Yeah,
all right. Well,
but my thing is I wear makeup. I remember he saw me at the grocery store or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, you look different than you look on Facebook." I remember that shit like it was yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I always look crazy when somebody see me from high school out and about, but I love makeup.
I don't, that's one of those things that I think men should just shut the fuck up and date what you like. It's not really,
Right.
yeah. If you,
I
and
mean, you know exactly why we can't just shut up and date what we like. Because when we do that, we get complaints. When we don't do
Date
that, we
what
get
you
complaints.
like.
No, no, I'm saying this is going to go into a deeper conversation towards the end of the podcast. Because literally, this whole thing was me leading the witness, just to get us into the state. But
yeah,
last but not least, since we were talking about WNBA, um, there's a
we
guy
were.
who believes that we should. Yeah, we mentioned it for like a brief second before the
No,
makeup conversation started. Um,
why would we mention WNBA? It's sorry, it's terrible.
no, 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 no. The WNBA is not sorry and terrible. It's about the fundamentals. But
Name
for
everything.
a man has a radical plan for improving the WNBA. He wants to lower the
I
basketball goals
mentioned
to what
that.
is it? What did he say? Eight? It was 8 feet or 9 feet?
I think he wanted to lower the rim, period, at 8 feet so they can dunk.
Exactly. And this would make it to where they'd be dunking, it'd be more competitive. Yes, I get what women who are athletes are complaining. We're gonna have to relearn how to play the game. Okay, whatever. I mean, shit, y'all relearn all kinds of other things. It's just a natural
That,
cycle of life.
that was a pride thing, saying they just as good as a man, which is just simply not true. I mean, basketball is a
I'm not
totally.
touching. I'm not touching the argument with the 10-foot pole. But what I am touching is, would this make WNBA better?
You ain't gotta like it. You ain't gotta love it. But truth is, when it comes to athleticism and like speed and like power and jumping, men are just better at it. It is what it is. Can they do aspects of basketball just as good as a man? Yes, you can shoot. But problem is, I think we looked it up. They had 20, 21 dunks, or was it 15 dunks, whatever the number was. But it was enough dunks that it wasn't even enough to put in your bank account. Like, even worry about it. Like, like it is what it is. But that's
That
just,
you're so wrong for that.
and you already know why people don't want to watch the WNBA, and I'm gonna say it, and we're gonna get canceled for it, but ain't nobody trying to watch those women play no basketball,
I mean, I don't think it's those women playing basketball. You're wrong as hell for that. I think it's exactly what the guy said, which is they don't dunk enough. They don't
bro.
dunk enough,
Ain't
and
nobody trying.
dunking is
If I'm trying to watch men play basketball, why would I turn the WNBA on to watch men who like women? I mean, women who like men play basketball. Like, I just
Well, all of them don't look like men.
a lot of
no. A lot of them just they don't have makeup on. Ah, it's the makeup. It's the makeup.
them.
Oh man,
Of course,
that's
it's
terrible.
some of them. I think the argument, and that was an argument from a couple years ago. He brought it up, but it was nothing but pride. And I think it's my argument that we talk about a lot when it comes to feminism. Like, modern feminism is not being equal to a man; it's being better than a man. White feminism. I'm sorry, guys. Modern white feminism.
Yeah, yeah. They want well, no, they want the parts of equality because they still want chivalry. But we'll hit that point towards the end of the podcast as well. But
Yeah, but
okay.
yeah, fuck that subject. Fuck WNBA.
Well, no, it's not fuck WNBA. It's that I think this would improve it. Viewers, you let us know if you think so as well. Lauren, did you have anything you want to add to that before we transition?
Mm-mm. Not at all. I don't watch. I don't watch.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Do you watch the WNBA?
Nah, I don't watch.
Yeah, you won't either ever. You won't even go to a free game.
I mean, I would.
Terrible.
I
You
would.
Terrible.
spend
I
10, 20.
just, I just like football more than I like basketball.
I would watch two.
American football?
Yes.
All right. Making
I
sure.
mean, I watch soccer as well. I've
Whew.
gone to a couple of Atlanta United games. So yeah.
Been to a Hawks game.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You know they play in the same arena, but they kicked them out because ain't no point of opening that arena for like 5 people.
Where do they play now? Georgia State?
Fucking no. Fucking no. I don't care.
Where do they play then?
It's some little small arena, but I know it's not. You got to Google it, bro. Well, hell, don't nobody play nowhere now. I don't think we live sports ain't gonna be good for 2-3 years, or
Yeah, I was watching, actual football. So, play with your feet. And it was so sad yesterday watching Manchester and Chelsea play. It was the saddest I think I've ever seen it. The coaches were sitting in the stand looking pissed. The players on the field were looking pissed. Everybody's like, "Give us some goddamn fans."
yeah, that's one game that we'll see. I mean, whenever the Democrats win the election, y'all gonna start hearing less and less about coronavirus, and it'll be
Oh
like
yeah, I already know.
I don't think
about a
it's gonna go away like that. I think it's gonna be here with us till 2022.
I
nope.
don't.
The
I
middle of the
don't.
they're gonna have people in there, and everything's gonna be at full capacity, and y'all gonna be like, "What the hell happened? What about coronavirus?"
I think you underestimate exactly who the big tech people are who are benefiting from you being at home. That is not going to be what the case is going to be. But Republicans going to make you feel that way because remember they benefit from you being in the stands and the other place.
It's coming, bro. I'm telling you.
This is a two-side war, and I think you're thinking one side isn't playing you because Republicans want you out and about because that's how they make their money, while big tech companies want you at home because that's how they make their money. This is a war. This is not a.
What
As someone was saying
worse,
yesterday,
bro? They lose.
mm,
The media, all they gotta do is get the media to change their tone, bro. That's all you gotta get to do, and then we'll see what happens.
I mean, I think we will see what's happening, but from talking to old people and from seeing how things are going, I think we're gonna be in the same rut until 2022. Because New Zealand, they talking mad shit about us. They like, y'all can't even get your shit together, so y'all can be like the rest of us.
Right.
Yeah, nobody give a fuck what them countries think. Oh, they look at America like it's the worst country in the world. Okay, whatever. And we kept moving the next day. Like nobody cares. Like people
I
think they
mean,
look
no. People care, but it's not the
like
same level of care that you think of. Like, I'm not gonna be able to eat tomorrow, but it is a care in the sense that I would love to be like New Zealand and go back to in-person classes. Like that would be nice.
well, that's gonna start when I would say in the spring they're going back to school.
Them kids are not going back to school in the spring.
Okay, already back in school, bro. I'm telling you, like yes, they're in
I'm talking
school.
about colleges. I'm not talking about your kids. I mean,
Oh, college,
public public school failed them a long time ago.
they'll be back in.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Because I think a lot of these colleges enjoying. Well, let me phrase that. Not schools like UGA. Schools that make money from football want you back in the school. But schools that could just take your money and offer you less services, oh, they happy with this. They real happy. The professor's not, but the school is.
Cardi B.
But yes, Cardi B has irresponsibly held a COVID-19 28th birthday party in Vegas, and she took Offset back. Why would she behave so ratchetly?
Bro, I think she's lying about her age.
You think she older than 28?
Yeah,
I mean, she bounced back pretty good after having that kid. She couldn't be much older and do that.
well, we'll see. I mean, she's rich, bro. She can bounce back after anything.
I mean, what we don't like to talk about, because we get canceled by the Beehive, is that Beyonce took a little bit longer to bounce back after having them twins. But that's neither here nor there.
Bro, that's because she's older. Everybody knows she's like 40 something, but they don't talk about it. Talk about it.
So you think every one of these women is lying about their age?
In fact, Beyonce's lying about her age because the math don't add up. But don't get us
No, go
canceled.
ahead.
Hell,
Go ahead. What's the math like?
we knew Lil Wayne lied about it.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, Beyonce's one of those other ones. I think it was some interview with Gabrielle. We grew up together. We were friends. Like, hold on, Gabrielle, like, ain't she claiming to be 35?
That's true.
And if you find part of the girl, that's out together. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the same thing. Like boys 5 years apart, maybe they can combine, but girls 5 years apart, they worry about totally different things.
So true.
But
They do
Beyonce
tend to worry about.
get free, it's again, I keep telling you guys it's a publicity stunt. Don't care about them.
It's a publicity stunt. Okay, that's a hot take.
Hold on, bro. You didn't like it?
No. It's a hot take. It's a hot take. It doesn't matter if I like it or not. That's not what matters here. But continuing on from here, let's talk about the albums that came out within the last couple weeks. I only did 3 of them this week. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I still ain't reviewed the Ti one yet. Um, but
And it was
Party Next Door, Party Pack, I say thumbs up. It's pretty good.
I
They
mean,
came out the Amanda tape. That was also a thumbs up. Favorite song from that one is The Moment, Count Me In. And then Joyner Lucas had Evolution, which feels more like an album than an EP since it's 15 tracks long. But in either case, still thumbs up. Zim Zimmer was really nice, a banger. And Like a River was actually produced by a guy who's on Reddit, and he gave like kind of like the influence and gave a nice little breakdown on Hip Hop Heads. So if you are on Reddit, check out Hip Hop Heads, and you can go to the Joyner Lucas Evolution reactions thread, and the guy gave a great breakdown of kind of like how he made the beat, that kind of stuff. So it was nice to see. I always like that additional detail, but that was another banger, so that's why I mentioned it as another standout from that EP. Although I'm calling it an album, but good job, Joyner. I really appreciate that you didn't wait forever to come out with another album because we can't do this shit like what you did with ADHD again.
you doing shit anyway. All these rappers are just waiting.
I mean, you saw like I didn't get a chance to review Tyler Hero either by What's Poppin' guy, Jack Harlow either. But I'll continue that. And then next week I also have enough time to finish fully reviewing the Kanye West Joe Rogan thing, which I think is gonna be really interesting as far as like the takeaways from it. Because Kanye is crazy as shit, but he has some good points
I
that are
keep
like,
telling
nuggets.
you, he's just a black man embracing conservatism.
I don't know. Some of these things are absolutely bitch crazy. He thought that Michael Jackson, Prince, and all these other people were murdered.
Yeah, that's not as crazy as people think it is.
I mean, I kind of think that.
That's not as crazy as people think it is.
Yeah, I
I can
I
definitely
think that's
think that.
I think that's crazy as shit. Only because
Michael,
Michael Jackson being murdered, makes a lot of sense. Prince just died. I mean,
I
he
think,
just died.
what did he die of? I can't even remember.
It was medical related.
Was okay. Was he on drugs?
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't because he Prince had changed his ways.
He was a devout. He was a devout, like like really devout, like
Yeah, exactly. He was
super.
super devout. So I don't think he was doing it. They said he died of a fentanyl overdose, but I don't think he. I mean, if he died from taking counterfeit Vicodin, as the official story goes, then we need to go, find all the Vicodin carriers. Because I mean,
That counterfeit Viking. He's Prince.
exactly. Like, why was he getting counterfeit Vicodin? There's some. I think there's something else going on there, but I don't think that necessarily means that he was murdered. I just think that the official story is oftentimes written in a way that you'd be like, "Oh, Prince, he died after going back to whatever," and the real thing may be something much more, benign, such as Prince died because his heart gave out.
They don't what we think because just like Jeffrey Epstein, we know they killed him, but 20 years later, when people go back and read about it, they're gonna say he committed suicide, and that's all that matters.
I don't think so. It's gonna be like Jeffrey Epstein thing is going to be like Dr. Martin Luther King, where we're going to find out later on the FBI had a hand in it. And, they just waited for everybody who could have been convicted to die. That's how it's going to be with the Jeffrey Epstein thing. We're going to come back and find out later everybody was paid off. The same thing we all thought. And, because black people had the same thing with Martin Luther King. We knew he didn't just get murdered by some random white guy, and it took forever, about 50-something years. And then eventually the FBI admitted, yeah, we had a hand in it. Go fuck yourselves.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's been just so quick, so fast, but we're going to have to go ahead and close this podcast out. You will join us next time, and we will pick right back up with our shenanigans, and it'll probably drop in a day. So, hey, happy Halloween.